Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, this Mexican woman, undocumented, meaning illegal or border breaking illegal immigrant alien, lied about being kidnapped by immigration enforcement. Mm-hmm. When the Trumpness second time around and the various types of border breaker illegal immigrants have lost their freaking minds, thinking that they're supposed to remain inside America by the multi millions, and how many numbers of the border breaker illegal immigrant women are supposed to just continue what they've been doing for many years, and depending how old they were, what their mothers were doing. Again, depending what their grandmothers were doing, right? And say popping out these little children like candy apples and getting what? Automatic citizenship. Thanks off of a black pain off the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. And some other person who know who they are, who benefit off the 14th Amendment that's supposed to be specifically about Black Americans, and it was diluted down. But that's a different topic in itself. So in this situation, let me go ahead and share my screen with this. So let me go ahead and get this started on this part. The insultingness of this, and especially it's an insult toward millions of American Blacks. It truly is. Because for so many years that within American Blackism, with very few exceptions, it was like, hey, you know what, these numbers of Hispanics or more these Mexicans, they're just like us. I'm not talking about numbers of good Mexicans. So you can't play both fences. You can't have the Mexican flag in various parts of America, and then they'll dip back in and dip back out and play their people of color, their minorities, right? No, we ain't gonna play that little tactic, right? I'm talking about the ones who do this. So let me go ahead again and share my screen on this, because too many times, unfortunately, American Blacks have been the butt and the laughing stock of other people sitting there using American Blacks and taking their kindness for weakness on that. All right, let me just see here. All right. So let me go ahead and make sure that's right. Okay. Maximize that. All right.
An undocumented woman is facing federal charges after allegedly faking her own kidnapping, accusing ICE agents to then apparently solicit donations through GoFundMe.
Fox 11's Gina Silva live in Highland Park with more on what we know about 41-year-old here. Gina.
Alex, Christine, it is quite a story. According to federal agents, the woman was in Bakersfield. She was staying there. She was safe, unharmed. Meanwhile, her family was out here in Los Angeles claiming that she had been kidnapped by masked men and taken to the border. Investigators say none of it was true.
As for our
and taken to the border by masked men, that she had been kidnapped by masked men and taken to the border. Investigators say none of it was true.
As for our authorities to not close our eyes to our families, this is not the only family going through this.
On June 30th, the family of Yuriana Julia Pelaez Calderon held a press conference claiming she had been kidnapped, possibly by federal agents. They pointed to her vehicle, saying it was abandoned in the parking lot of a Jack in the Box in South Los Angeles, and evidence of her disappearance.
There's plenty of families going through this nightmare right now where we don't know where our relatives,
Here's the thing about it. They not giving a 2 cents of a taco's tell about Black American men who are removed from their families. Every day for some little minorness, right? And however other ones, fake charges by numbers of bad seeds. So these same type people, they don't sit there and jump up and have outrage because of numbers of Black Americans being removed from their families. That's been going on for many generations because they don't care. But they think, or they want American Blacks to care for these border breakers. And in this situation, this falsely kidnap allegations, despicable cretin border breaker who lied, and possibly some other people who were in on this scam as well.
Our loved ones are at this moment.
It turns out, according to Homeland Security, Calderon wasn't missing at all. Investigators say surveillance video clearly shows Calderon calmly exiting her vehicle at the Jack in the Box and willingly getting into another vehicle but wasn't missing at all. Investigators say surveillance video clearly shows Calderon calmly exiting her vehicle at the Jack in the Box and willingly getting into another vehicle before.
And here's the thing about it. This little border breaker, illegal immigrant cretin. So this particular Mexican, and she has however numbers of kids, and most likely they're on Medicaid for free, and dang sure most likely she has food stamps. And being a border breaker. But of course, various personnel within main parts of the Panamanian culture, they don't sit there and call her lazy. Oh, those numbers of Spanish, they're lazy. Nope. But when some Black women on there, oh my goodness, they're lazy. Why don't they go find a job? But you like the biggest food stamp recipients is personnel within various sections of Panamanian culture. But oh, they don't like that kind of truth.
Before leaving the area, federal agents found her shopping at a market in Bakersfield. The 41-year-old undocumented woman who lived in South Los Angeles at the Jack in the Box and willingly exiting her vehicle clearly shows Calderon calmly exiting her vehicle at the Jack in the Box and willingly getting into another vehicle before leaving the area. Federal agents found her shopping at a market in Bakersfield. The 41-year-old undocumented woman who lived in South Los Angeles is now facing The 41-year-old undocumented woman who lived in South Los Angeles is now facing federal charges, including conspiracy and making false statements to federal officers.
Several individuals could be
including conspiracy and making false statements to federal officers.
Several individuals could be facing charges in this case. It is, of course, the person who is making these false statements that could lead to criminal charges, but also any family members who were also putting forward this narrative.
Legal analyst Mary David points out that because the family created a GoFundMe account to raise money while claiming Calderon had been kidnapped, that could open the door to potential fraud charges.
And you see how that is a disgusting scam. And these people, there's no moral conversation. GoFundMe, there are numbers of people that have GoFundMe, and it's legitimate. And there are many others that are scamming. GoFundMe. Situations happen. GoFundMe. This situation happened. Knowing possibly some people that knew she was faking the kidnappingness. And you see how what the person said, and a GoFundMe was started.
In addition, the attorney could also be in trouble. According to the federal complaint, he claimed Calderon was taken to a San Isidro detention center, and when she refused to sign deportation paperwork, Calderon was punished and transferred to a warehouse at an undisclosed location.
If the attorney knew that the statements were false, they can face charges as well. But even if they don't face criminal charges, there certainly could also be civil penalties if they didn't do their due diligence, if they violated any code of ethics.
If convicted, Calderon faces up to 10 years in federal prison. She is currently in immigration custody. Now, according to the complaint, one of her daughters was well aware that the kidnapping was allegedly a hoax. Complaint, one of her daughters was well aware that the kidnapping was allegedly a hoax.
Mm, 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 mm. My goodness. My goodness. See, these border breaker illegal immigrants, they are definitely getting out of hand and they're getting comfortable. Now, unfortunately for the numbers of them, with the Trumpists on the second time, they're losing their minds. And because high numbers of border breakers, they're not sure if they will be deported or not. Many are, and many will not. See, I'm like, under logical analysis, I don't get caught up in, oh my, getting deported. No. However, ones that are getting deported, but 3.5 something years, when however another presidential personnel is selected, it doesn't even matter then. You understand? Doesn't matter. And the number of people that's getting deported now, which is, hey, excellent. Border break illegal immigrants. Black Americans can't border break across that border. So we're not going to play that tactic. But I'm getting at the number of personnel that's being deported. It ain't just Mexicans, by the way. Always various other cultures and backgrounds, including some black adjacent hiders as well. But again, those are different topics. But I'm saying you got people, oh, yeah, they deporting. Okay, I got all that. But the problem is that there are still tens of millions of border breaker illegal immigrants that will never be deported. And then how many have these uncalculable number of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pseudo border breaker kids that they've used as pawns when they're popping them out like candy apples. And then the ones that they brought across the border as pawns also, right? And they get them on food stamps and put them on Medicaid. But especially ones that are popped out of that border breaker illegal immigrant woman or women, and they get a 14th Amendment protections under the, for that child's automatic citizen, which then become an anchor baby, right? And many of them, they're not deporting as many women border breakers as people think they are. It's more males, and the system knows it. So the thing about it is, but again, they expect, the border breakers expect, and some other people expect, Black folks are supposed to help out these numbers of Hispanics, and like in this situation, these border breaker Mexicans. But what does this say on here? Let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I don't want to ally with him. Felix Terragino something, Mexican American president of LULAC, 1956 to 60. And these are the kind of things that numbers of Mexicans, the ones it applies to, they don't want American blacks to see. Right? And it is a disgusting tactic. But they know numbers of American blacks have some of the most openest heart and get used also the most. Let's see what Barney Fife. Let's see what Barney Fife talks about that needs to happen from the great Andy Griffin show.
I say this calls for action, and now nip it in the bud.
Yes. Agree, Barney Fife. Deputy Fife, right? What needs to happen with these border breaker illegal immigrants that are still getting out of hand, and still multi-millions of border breakers are still in America sitting there laughing, right? What needs to happen?
I say this calls for action, and now nip it in the bud.
Yes. And the thing about it is, like this situation with and they'll say, black and brown, black and brown, black and brown. Uh-oh, excuse me. Oh, something happened to my videos, whatever it is. I can't stand when that happens. It's almost like it's intentional. Some of these things be happening. Give me one moment. Let me one moment. Actually, before I do that, I will share my screen again because there's one last little article I want to sit there and show you relating to this. Give me one moment here. It's right here. I'm just going to read a few sentences. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Mexican national. You see how they do? Mexican national charged in federal criminal complaint with staging fake immigration kidnappingness. Los Angeles, an illegal border breaking illegal immigrant, Mexican, from Mexico, has been charged in a federal criminal complaint with orchestrating a phony kidnappingness, which she blamed on federal agents or people working with federal agents to generate public sympathy and solicit donations. Uriana, some Julia, something, Pelez, Calderon, whatever. 41 of South LA, Los Angeles, California, is charged with conspiracy and making false statements in federal to federal officers. Calderon, who is now U.S. immigration custody, expected to make her initial appearance in the coming weeks in the United States District Court in L.A. Dangerous rhetoric that ICE agents are kidnapping illegal immigrants is being recklessly peddled by politicians, the ones that are doing this, and echoed in the media, main media, and other people to inflame the public and discredit our courageous federal agents. And here's the crazy part about it: when it's dealing with black pain or the anti-American black hatred that's been going on for centuries, right? And American blacks have the most hate crimes put upon them. Where's all these damn people at? Where's all these various political personnel? Where's all these pro border breaker illegal immigrant groups? Where are all these various pro Hispanic groups, pro certain numbers of Asian groups, the ones applies to, right? Where are these various type of what we call wink wink Native American groups at? Where are they at? Where are these immigration groups that jumping up and down for American blacks? Of course not. But American blacks are supposed to be the saviors of people while getting used the most. According to the affidavit filed with the complaint, filed Wednesday when it happened, attorney representing Calderon's family held a press conference on June 30, 2025, to announce that Calderon had reportedly been kidnapped 5 days early at a Jack in the Box restaurant parking lot in downtown Los Angeles and brought to whatever San Ysidro, where she was presented to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement staffer and presented with voluntary self-deportation paperwork. The attorney then said Calderon refused to sign the paperwork and demanded to speak to a judge and lawyer. Now, do you think American blacks can break border immigration laws, falsified kidnappings, all this other stuff across that border, and think that they gonna sit there and have and say they're gonna demand a judge or a lawyer talk to them? In response, she was punished and she was sent to a warehouse in an undisclosed location. The press conference garnered media attention and stroked the fear in the community. Meanwhile, Calderon's daughter set up a GoFundMe page. See how that go? Calderon's daughter set up a GoFundMe GoFundMe page requesting $4,500 and stating that Calderon was taken by a masked man in an unmarked vehicle while she was on her way to work. According to the complaint, the entire story was fabricated. Well, but at the same time, they still want American blacks to sit there and help border break illegal immigrants out and some other people. But what does it say? Let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I don't want to ally with him. And the last little clip, when people talking about black and brown, that little silly ass game where And I get tired of numbers of American blacks that want to fall for this, like many of them fall for the communities of color and people of color nonsense and being called minorities and all that nonsense, which dilutes down specifically American blacks. Right? And again, I'm not talking about coons and sellouts and gullible ones, by the way. On that, give me one moment. One last, so a quick little animation that also talks about this silliness of black and brown. Right? Give me one moment here. Right, give me one moment here. Here we go.
Nobody else can make that determination. They decide. They say that these are the brown people. You have an expression now that's been going on for some time. Black people and brown people. Most black people are brown. That's been going on for some time. Black people and brown people. Most black people are brown. Brown people. You have an expression now that's been going on for some time. Black people and brown people. Most black people are brown.
From the great Dr. Nellie Fuller, may his soul rest. And this gentleman does these cartoons, these hip hop cartoons, and some other things, very ingenious and stuff like that. The gentleman that does these little cartoons and stuff like that. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show.